Hi, I'm Bob Kendrick, and this is Storied, 22 stories in 22 weeks about the history of the Negro Leagues. Allow me to introduce you to Rube Foster, the genius. It would be Rube Foster who would establish the Negro Leagues here in Kansas City in 1920 in a meeting that took place at the Purcell YMCA. Rube Foster, without question, is the greatest baseball mind this sport has ever seen, and virtually no one knows who the heck he is, even though he is rightfully enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Rube Foster had been a great player in the early era of black baseball. As a matter of fact, Foster is credited with having invented what we now know to be the screwball. Back then, it was called a fadeaway, and Rube perfected this pitch. So much so that the great Major League manager, John McGraw, would sneak Rube Foster into his camp so that Rube Foster could teach Christy Matthewson how to throw the screwball. Well, Christy Matthewson threw the pitch all the way into the National Baseball Hall of Fame that he learned from the legendary Rube Foster. Foster never got credit for it, but Foster was best known for being this tremendous leader. He would organize the Negro Leagues here in Kansas City in 1920. He would become the president of the Negro Leagues, or as we like to call him, the father of black baseball. But he also owned the Chicago American Giants, and he managed the Chicago American Giants. And as a manager, Rube Foster was known to fine his ball players in the early 1900s as much as $5 if they were tagged out standing up. They were supposed to slide. Rube would draw a circle down the first base line. He would draw a circle down the third base line. And if every one of his players couldn't drop a bunt inside that circle, he would fine them. He was adamant about the style of play that became signature of Negro Leagues baseball. Fast, aggressive, daring. They bunt their way on, they'd steal second, they'd steal third, and if you weren't too smart, they were stealing home. This was the style of play that drew both black and white fans who sat side by side during an era when doing something socially together was virtually unheard of. Negro Leagues baseball brought the two races together. You see, that's the irony of this great story. Here's a league born out of segregation that becomes the driving force for social change in this country. This has been Bob Kendrick for Storied. 22 amazing stories of the Negro Leagues in 22 amazing weeks. Stay tuned for the next episode next week.